Hi, it's Dana here, and today I have a card that I made using a 3D embossing folder from Crafter's Companion. And I actually already started my card when I found out that my iPad wasn't recording. So I've already cut down the embossed panel to fit my card base, and then also die cut a circle from the center. And here I'm just placing it on a white card base and just tracing the circle so I have an idea of where this opening is, because I want to place my sentiment in that circle so it kind of peeks through. And I'm going to use my Misty to do this, so I have it hopefully in the right spot and everything. And of course, if I need to restamp it, I can pretty easily with my Misty. So I just line up the cling stamp onto the grid pattern of the door, and I just eyeball it to make sure it actually lines up, and then do a quick sample stamp to make sure it actually lines up with the grid paper. And if it does, which it did in this case, then I'm all ready to go. And sometimes I have to adjust it if I need to, but I'll just use the magnets to hold my cardstock in place, and then I can just kind of eyeball it to see where my sentiment falls and just adjust the paper so that way my sentiment does fall in the center of that circle. Don't want it to, of course, stamp outside of the circle, and then you won't see it through the little window that I've created with my embossing panel. So I can just ink it up and then stamp it, press it firmly, and it inked pretty nicely and everything, so I don't need to redo that. So now I just double check, and of course it all fit perfectly in this circle, and I can just erase a circle because I don't need that anymore. And then I'm going to adhere the panel with foam tape, and I just cut up these sheets with these teeny tiny foam dots that I never use because they're just so tiny. Instead, I've just cut strips and little pieces that I need, and then I can just add it to my card base and make sure that it lines up as best as I can get it. And of course, pressing hard and firmly to make sure that the adhesive sticks well to the card base. I did have a little bit of overhang, and so I just used some scissors to trim that so that way it all matches the card base and it's the right size. And then next I'm going to use these little butterflies to add to my card, and so I just die cut them from some Crafter's Companion simmering cardstock. I believe this is Coastal Pearl, and I end up cutting 3 of them because 3 of course is a good number to have. And I just kind of play with where I want to add them to my card, and kind of make sure you kind of want to get kind of a triangle like shape is pleasing to the eye. And then to add a little decorative pearls to them, I just first use my bone folder to crease down the center of the butterflies, and then I'm going to add, and I decided I liked the 2 pearls on the butterfly bodies, so I just used some liquid adhesive and a little bit of tweezers that I had, or in this case I ended up just using my fingers. Worked a lot better. Sometimes the tweezers work, sometimes they don't, but I just added the 2 pearls to the butterfly bodies and let, of course, them dry so that way the pearls stayed. And then I again played with kind of where I thought I would want them, and just kind of make sure that they didn't overlap the sentiment too much, or so that way you could actually read them. And then I just adhered them to my card base and really just needed to let them dry. And that's all I did. So I hope you like this little video, and check out Crafter's Companion 3D embossing folders are on HSN. Thanks for stopping by.